Hello and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. We are covering the live Bullish IPO, the biggest ever IPO possibly. Look, we've had Circle's IPO, we've had Coinbase IPO. I imagine this will be up there, and we're going to be covering it live as soon as it comes out. I'm going to be giving you some information now about how many people are in, some information about what the share price is going to be, how oversubscribed it is, who's buying it as well. I've got all of that information live to bring you right now. Crypto markets are going pretty crazy right now. Ethereum is approaching all-time highs. I do expect to see a couple tokens today go up 10, 15, 20, 30% as we get that hype building up in the crypto market. We've also got PPI inflation data coming out tomorrow. We did think it was today, but I don't know why we did, but it's tomorrow. That's when that's coming out. But I've got some more information about 50 basis points rate cuts and the September Fed cuts as well. So a jam-packed show for you guys today. So make sure you hit that like button. Let's see if we can get straight to 100 likes. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and let me know in the chat. I've got a poll running. Have you requested IPO shares? Let me know. Okay, so let's get straight into it. Bitcoin, we're going to go quickly through these. This is going to be high pace, and we're going to go quickly through them until we get to your comments. So Bitcoin, I imagine this will start hitting all-time highs soon, even as early as today. I think we got the highest daily candle close ever in the history of Bitcoin, and yes, we did. The highest ever daily candle close for Bitcoin. I imagine we can see Bitcoin all-time highs as early as today. That would be great. Targets are 130 to 135,000 next, as soon as we break all-time highs of 123,000 and some change. So that's Bitcoin, the king of the crypto markets. Then we go into Ethereum, which has been performing very, very well. Ethereum is something we've been looking at. Let me actually change the chart to this one here. Something we've been looking at for a while. Perfect opportunity at $1,300, but that's the past. Let's forget about that now. The target was breaking $4,000. $4,000 we tested about 3 or 4 times, and we finally broke out. What's the next target? Well, all-time highs for Ethereum as well. We haven't actually seen Bitcoin's way past its 2021 highs. Ethereum is now approaching them at $4,800 is the target. Once that breaks, I think we're going to continue to our first main bull market target for Ethereum of $7,300. So that is the main target for Ethereum this bull run, the first main target. I do have further targets, 10 and to 12,000, but the first major target is 7,300. What I want to make clear is, firstly, I'm not a financial advisor, so please do not buy or sell based on anything I say. That would be a very unwise decision. I don't know any of your personal circumstances. Crypto is very risky, so the disclaimer is I'm not responsible for your trades. Please do not take anything I say as a buy or sell signal. That is the first main bull market target, 7,300, but be careful, because on the way to 7,300 we will have some liquidation wicks, whether that's to the upside and the shorts get liquidated, or whether it's to the downside and longs get liquidated. I think ultimately we are bullish enough to get there. And every time we say bullish today, we're going to think of that IPO that's coming up. I'm going to get onto that in just a second. I am bullish that we'll get to all-time highs and beyond, but I am going to be wary because a lot of people will be FOMOing in, going in with leverage, and they're probably going to get wrecked. They weren't buying down here. They're going to be buying on the way up. So please be careful. Don't be one of those people that gets liquidated. Buy it if you want to buy it, but be prepared for the risk. If you're going in with leverage and you think it's just going up, 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 well, remember that it doesn't just go up forever. And even on the way up, you get some big corrections there as well. So be careful. It is a bit overbought right now. I do think we have more room to run on Ethereum for the next week or so. But at some point it will have a correction, even if we're still in a bull market and we're still not at our target. So be careful. But the good news about ETH running is it allows the altcoins to run as well. Remember, this is phase 2 when Ethereum starts running. The next is when it goes into the smaller market caps, large caps, then altcoin season. So this is starting to shape up, and it's starting to go exactly as we imagine. Bitcoin has had its run. Ethereum's now having its run. That run from Ethereum is probably going to go back to Bitcoin, then back to Ethereum. Those are going to start running. Then the large caps here and there are going to start running, and that's why I said we might have 20-30% moves on some coins today. But ultimately, the run is Bitcoin, Ethereum, large caps, altcoin season. So we are starting to move down this ladder. If I bring this up so you can see it a bit bigger, we are starting to come down this ladder. And that is, on a basic level, Bitcoin, Ethereum, large caps, altcoin seasons. There's little bits in between where they switch between each other. But the main idea is we've had Bitcoin go to all-time highs. I expect it to continue going. We've now got Ethereum approaching all-time highs. Then it's going to be large caps and then altcoin season. And that happens within time. So right now, if we're looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum season is something we've been talking about. Now we're going to be looking at potentially in the month of September, October, as we go down the months and as we go down the list, that's when we start seeing something like XRP go to all-time highs, some of the top tokens like Dogecoin, ADA start moving, and then you get the full-blown altcoin season when everything goes crazy, especially those lower cap ones, which we might start seeing 10, 50, 100 X's on some coins. So it is as expected. I am expecting September to be a great month for XRP all-time highs, October to be a great month for XRP and altcoins, and by the time we reach the end of the year, probably this whole altcoin season to come to an end. So we are approaching that time when that part of the cycle. Nothing's ever guaranteed. Black swans can happen. Liquidations can happen. Nothing pans out exactly as expected, but I think that's the sort of trajectory we are on for the markets. Make sure you have hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already. We are on our way to 100,000 subscribers, and I hope we get there soon, as we are doing a giveaway to celebrate. So now we're coming on to a couple more stories. So let me just go over here and make sure that's all okay. Let me just show you one more chart, and that will be XRP, and then we can do some chart requests if you want, but then we'll go into the Bullish IPO and some news about rate cuts and stuff. So XRP still exactly as predicted. SEC case came out, then we sort of faded, which we expected. Now we're coming back up because the rest of the market's coming up. I am still expecting a range between $3.40, no higher than previous all-time highs, and on the low side, $2.62. That's not looking very likely anymore. $2.62 is definitely not looking very likely anymore, but $3 is still possible. I do still expect XRP will range in the month of August, and then in September we can start at least breaking $3.65 to go to all-time highs. So I think all-time highs for XRP will be in September, but it is now showing nice strength. My views will change if we break $3.40. Then I can start saying all-time highs can now be possible, which is not too far away, but I want to stay grounded. I'm prepared for the upside, I'm prepared for the downside, I'm prepared for sideways action. What I think the most likely scenario is sideways action towards the higher end of the range, and that higher end of the range is around $3.40. So those are the three top tokens there. We did speak about ADA yesterday. Congratulations to anyone who took that trade on ADA, up about 40-50% I think on that trade. Another one we looked at was Filecoin. How's that doing? Up another 2.5% today, so that's doing well as well. Top movers are Solana. We also did mention Dogecoin yesterday. That's now up 5%. So you can now start seeing the crypto markets are looking very green, and that's all thanks to Ethereum. Okay, now we're going to move on to just a few top stories. So yesterday we looked at Circle. Circle's USDC is gaining momentum, taking up growing market share. USDT is still massive, but I think USDT is still massive. I think USDC, Circle stablecoin, will start taking some of that market share. They had strong revenue, announced a new blockchain as well. The reason I say September we're going to have all-time highs on XRP is because in October I expect all of these ETFs on their final deadlines to be approved, and everyone's going to be picking up on the fact that's when the XRP ETFs are going to be approved, and once that's the story of the day, people will start buying the rumour for these XRP ETFs, which are coming out in October, and I think that will lead to all-time highs in September. Yesterday we looked at CPI live data, and it came out sort of in line, slightly softer than expected, which was make or break for the markets, and thankfully it was make for the market. So 2.7% was good. Core CPI was a bit worrying, but the markets are now pricing in about a 96% chance of a rate cut because of that CPI data. And remember, that was a very important CPI print, because if it was hotter than expected and the jobs market's in a bad place, then the Fed have completely failed at their job of a dual mandate. and they'll be in a very sticky situation. But thankfully, for now, inflation is softer than expected, which allows rate cuts to happen. It allows people to be more confident in their investments, and we saw that yesterday with the pump we got in the S&P 500 and in the crypto market. The next thing to keep an eye out for is PPI tomorrow to see if it confirms this. I'm going to go over here and go to our today's, that's not today's, let me refresh this, today's newsletter, because I've got some more information to share with you. Today's newsletter is for premium members only, and there is a link to get a 7-day free trial in there as well. Let me go over here. Let's go over here. How many subscribers are we on? It's 95,290. Thank you everyone for subscribing. Can we get to 95,500 today? Let's see if we can do it. Please do hit that like, subscribe button, and hit the like button as well. Let's continue going down the list. So we've got a $1,000 giveaway as well. I'm going to give you the link to it. If you do want to win $1,000 worth of XRP free for all to enter, no pay to win, nothing like that. You can win with just one ticket. There's the link. You go to this website here, make sure you log in, and then you've got all of these entries to win your tickets. If you've already done something like you've subscribed to my Substack, which is the newsletter, or you've already followed Martyn on X, you don't need to unfollow and follow again. You can, because you've already done it, all you have to do is click the button and claim those tickets. The more tickets you get, the more likely you are to win. The chances go up, of course, but all of these entries are free for all, free to enter. Let's put that there. Okay. And then we've got yesterday's Secretary's Scott Bessent came out and said that the Federal Reserve should consider a 50 basis point rate cut in September. So now that is the sentiment. People are not only saying we're definitely going to have rate cuts, but they need to increase how big those rate cuts are. And you can see if we refresh the Fed Watch tool, the markets are actually not pricing that in at all. There is no chance of a 50 basis point rate cut at this point in time, but there is now a 98% chance that we get a rate cut in September, and that's obviously brings good sentiment into the market. Whether or not it's actually a good thing for the everyone says that'll bring mortgage rates down, but the actual economics behind that, which we won't dive into today, is the long end of the yield actually goes up, so mortgage rates could in fact actually go up when you start cutting rates. So it's not as simple as that, but the sentiment anyway within retail investors and the markets, they run with the sentiment whether they think it's true or not. Even the big boys who know the truth, they don't care about trading on the truth, they care about trading on the sentiment, and the sentiment of a rate cut is you go up. So that's what's being priced in. That's what we're expecting, which will be great for the crypto market. Remember, yesterday's data was not the best in some parts. The main overall data, the sentiment was great, but this is what I'm talking about. Behind the scenes, there's actually some things that are not brilliant, but the market doesn't want to price it in because they want to run with the sentiment, and even the big dogs, the hedge funds, want to make money, so they ignore this parts of data. Well, they don't ignore it, they just know what the sentiment is. But this is the reality behind the data. Core CPI was actually 3.1. Estimate was 3, prior was 2.9. So you've got inflation, actually the core parts of it going up, which is worrying. That is where tariffs come into place. And we don't even have Chinese tariffs into the data. We don't even have tariffs going on for over a year. And that's normally when you start seeing that price being passed on to consumers. So behind the bonnet, just keep in the back of your mind, if you want to be clever about this, the economy and inflation is not actually in the best place possible. The economy is not very good with unemployment data, and inflation behind the scenes is not very good. So be aware of that, and don't be blind to it, because the hedge funds aren't blind to it, but they imagine the retail investors are blind to it, so they're going off the sentiment. And at some point that sentiment will change, especially if this data keeps getting worse and worse. So the core CPI, 3.1%, the estimate was 3%, prior was 2.9%, so that's not the best news. And now it's Ethereum season. Everyone's posting about Ethereum. Coinbase is posting about Ethereum. We've got Forbes calling for a $10,000 Ethereum. You can see Ethereum is now the sentiment of the game at the moment. Yesterday we saw major liquidations on Ethereum shorts. I think it was about 130 million within an hour got liquidated on Ethereum. So please be careful if you're leverage trading, because you probably get wrecked, whether it's the downside or the upside. We're going to get onto the Bullish IPO in just a second as well. Yeah, you can see 135 million worth of Ethereum shorts got liquidated in about an hour. We've got Tom Lee talking about Ethereum and his targets. He's saying it could be at a verge of about 120x potentially if it's 2017 Bitcoin moment he's calling this, and that would result in 120x. But remember, XRP trading actually accounted for more of Coinbase's revenue compared to Ethereum, so XRP is still up there. So now what I'm going to do is go to today's newsletter and tell you all about Bullish IPO. Let me go over here and see if we've got I've got two stories on the Bullish IPO. Let me know in the chat right now, yes, if you want to know about the Bullish IPO. Are you here about the Bullish IPO? Spam yes in the chat. Also, I've got a poll running. What's the result so far? 29% of you have requested IPO shares, 30% of you, 44% of you haven't, and 26% you don't have access to it. I don't have access to it, unfortunately. I can't get involved, but I'm just as excited because it's great for the whole industry and it's quite exciting to watch. Let me go over here and I'll open two stories. This is from, and remember, you can do this from previous newsletters. You can go and open them up. This is all about the Bullish IPO, so I'll keep this up and open. And this is today's story where we've got more news about the Bullish IPO. So let's start with today's news on the Bullish IPO. Remember, go and subscribe to the newsletter because, oh, this is not today's. Let me go over here. Deeper dive Bullish. Here we go, this is today's. Because some of these newsletters are premium subscribers only, the whole newsletter. Sometimes, most of the time, we allow the free subscribers to have a look at the top 5 stories, but not access to deeper dives, charts of the day, economic calendar, and the chat function where you can talk directly to me. But today's newsletter is all for premium members only. So thank you to all the premium members. If you're not a premium member, you do have access to the beginning of this, which explains to you what you get as part of the newsletter. So this is your daily edge. It's not just another newsletter. Every morning I send sharp, no fluff, market rundowns to get you informed and moving. No noise, no recycled headlines, just 5 things you need to know every day before the market opens. You get the chart of the day with the key levels and momentum explained. You get the big story breakouts on stocks and crypto that matter. You get the exclusive insights on ETH market from Vaz every Saturday. You get the tools and thinking to build real conviction. And then today's newsletter is premium access only. So do go and consider grabbing it. At least go grab your 7-day free trial. You've got the link there. I'll give you the link to the 7-day free trial here as well, so go and grab it if you don't have the newsletter already. So let me go to today's newsletter and tell you, I'll at least show you a couple of the stories. I won't give it all away. Here we go. So Bullish Crypto Exchange, we actually know how much they're raising because we can the data's already there. Bullish Crypto Exchange raised 1.1 billion in an oversubscribed New York Stock Exchange debut. Cryptocurrency exchange Bullish raised 1.1 billion in its IPO on Tuesday, pricing 30 million shares at $37 each. Well, why? How do we know this? Well, because we know how oversubscribed it is. This is a story that came out from Bloomberg this morning and others, because they know how many. The price was the price of the shares was announced either last night or this morning, which is $37 a share. So you know what that is. That it was initially going to be $28 to $31. It's now actually confirmed $37, and they know how many they're offering. They announced that as well. I think they're offering about 30 million shares, so a little bit more than they've initially announced, which was about 22 million. They increased the number of shares that they want to give away or having their IPO, and they also increased their price. So they also raised a lot more money. So 1.1 billion in its IPO on Tuesday, pricing 30 million shares at $37 each, well above its market range of $32 to $33. An initial target of $28 to $31. The offering, which valued the company at $5.4 billion, was more than 20 times oversubscribed. So your chances of getting this, if you get it, you're very lucky. It's about 20 to 1, the chances of you managing to get your shares. And that depends on how much Robinhood actually has allocated. So we'll see. I'm going to go quickly to your comments because I want to see, has anyone actually got their shares confirmed? Has anyone got them denied? Let me know. You are all here for, okay, thanks for all the yeses in the chat. I appreciate the info, guys. No worries. Can you, anyone who's actually, because I don't have access to this, I can't do it. Have you got your shares accepted? Let me know in the chat right now. Are your shares... oh, Martyn is live. I'm going to give you the link to Martyn. She's showing me on the screen. Martyn's live. I'm going to give you the link to Martyn because Martyn is actually in Bullish IPO. He knows everything about it. And I don't know if he's got his... Let me see if I can get Martyn on the screen. I don't know if he's actually got his shares allocated. If everyone in the chat could let me know, have you got your shares allocated yet? And you know if you've got accepted or denied. I'm going to bring Martyn on the screen right now, and I'll give you the link.
I've tried to buy 200 when I only really want one, but at the same time, I can afford to have two, if that makes sense. So it's important to stress that. All right, okay, so at any moment now, this will go live, and we shall see what happens. We will know before how many shares we've got before the actual live trading begins, so we'll get an idea of what we've got to play with. Now, you can't sell these. You can technically sell them, but I would recommend you don't, because if you do, you'll be frozen out of the future IPOs. That doesn't bother you, and you don't mind getting a mark on your account, that's okay, but I probably wouldn't suggest that was a good idea. So anyway, oh, there's Sensei. Oh, wait, we're waving back. We're waving back at each other. Sensei, hang on, Sensei is covering me, I'm covering him. Let's wave at each other, hang on. Let's see if he gets me. I'll bring his audio in. Let's see if I can bring him up. Before the actual live trading begins, so we'll get an idea of what we've got to play. All right. Hopefully you'll see me waving in a second, like that, sort of like that. There'll be a bit of a delay. Go on, Sensei, give us a wave. Give us a wave, mate. Look at him. Look, he looks miserable, doesn't he? Is he looking miserable this morning? I think he does. He's looking in about 15 seconds. We should see it. Let me see. There you go. There we go. We're all waving at each other.
There we go.
I love it. All right.
So Martyn is live right now. I'll give you the link to him. He's involved with this, as in he's buying this. So let me give you the link. This is Martyn live right now. Let me finish the story and I'll send you all straight over to Martyn as well.
Would have been up taking advantage of this, but he didn't. I've been up all night. I've been streaming all through the night. Me and Sensei are having a battle this morning. See who get the most views. Well, I gave myself a 12-hour head start. Snooze, you lose. Snooze, you lose. Anyway, what's he saying? He does. He's looking in about 15 seconds. We should see it. Let me see. There you go. There we go. We're all waving at each other.
There we go.
I love it. All right.
Martyn is live right now. I'll give you the link.
All right. So anyway, let's get ready to rock and roll. Love it.
Okay, so sorry about that. We're watching each other. Anyway, let me get back into the news, and then I'll send you all to Martyn. So, has anyone actually received their shares? I got my 3 shares at $37. I'm happy. I believe crypto. Oh, what? Congratulations, Colo. Did he actually receive the shares or just requested them? Oh, he's actually received them. Praying for an order, $50 limit to go through. You can sell if you put a limit order in. It's not actually showing I've got my shares for Bullish yet. Okay, so if you've actually received your shares, please let me know in the chat. Or if you haven't, say I haven't received my shares. Or if you have, say I have received my shares and at what price you received them. Let me go back to the story because this is some important information and then we'll get over to Martyn. So, where were we? Here we go. So, cryptocurrency exchange Bullish raised 1.1 billion on its Tuesday on its IPO on Tuesday, pricing 30 million shares at $37 each, well above the market range of $32 to $33 and its initial target of $28 to $31. So be careful, it's actually been sort of up priced now. The offering, which valued the company at 5.4 billion, was more than 20 times oversubscribed. Chances of getting the IPO are very low, prompting an increase in both share count and pricing. Trading begins Wednesday on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker BLSH. We don't have that available now, BLSH. We have the ticker, but I don't think it's... there is no data on this as of yet. Led by former New York Stock Exchange President Tom Farley and backed by Peter Thiel, Bullish focus on institutional trading, spot, margin and derivatives. Major investors BlackRock and ARK commit up to 200 million at IPO price. Co-founder Brendan Blummer will retain 30.1% ownership, while board member one holds 26.7%. The firm also owns crypto media outlet CoinDesk, acquired in 2023 for 72.6 million. Despite reporting a $348 million net loss in Q1 of 2025 versus a profit year on year, the IPO follows a trend of strong performance among regulated crypto platforms like Circle, reflecting grower investor demand for compliant digital infrastructure. So please be very careful with IPOs. I think there is a rule in place. I think it's within 30 days. If you sell it, you might not get IPOs again, or you might have some restrictions on your account. But at the end of the day, if you need the money, then you have to take the restrictions. I mean, if you've already subscribed or oversubscribed and you need the money, it's going to be a volatile journey. I think we're going to go up. I think we're going to have a dump. I think it's going to be somewhat like Circle, but these are very, very high risks. IPOs are very, very high risk, so please do not put in more than you can afford to lose. Someone said I couldn't get any bullish. My region is banned. Just some. I think it's mainly the US market which has access to this. Here in the UK, no exchange I'm aware of has access to this, and I've looked at quite a few now. No exchange I could find has access to the bullish IPO. So the main point is, there's more shares available now, and they're more expensive. So it's already been upvalued with that. So that's going to take away from the gains a little bit, but I still do expect quite a good run for the bullish IPO. I think we'll still get a good run. Where we'll be in a month from now, I'm not sure, but I imagine still up from these $31 ranges or the $37 now, but I think we would have sold off by the time everyone can start selling, which is in a month from now. So please be careful, don't put more than you can afford to lose. If you want exposure to crypto market, then this is another way to get it. So we've got PPI coming out tomorrow as well, so we're going to stay on top of that. Tomorrow is going to be a big PPI day. What I'm actually going to do is probably end the stream and send you straight to Martyn, because I want you guys to get the best content possible. There is a lot in this newsletter today, and it's still the most important news and that everyone needs to know. So please do go and read the newsletter. I'll give you the link once more. But the reason I'm going to send you to Martyn is because I'm sure most people here are anticipating the bullish IPO, and Martyn has a lot of information on this. He's actually got it live on his screen and he's investing in it, so there's no point me going live when everyone wants that news, and I don't just want to recycle the same things. Martyn will have more information for you, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you over to Martyn. But in the meantime, if I'm going to do that and lose out on the views and lose to Martyn, you guys have to do something for me. Please go and sign up to that newsletter. At least try the 7-day free trial and see what you think. If you are investing in the markets, whether it's IPOs, whether it's the crypto market, whether you want to stay on top of the stock market, the new emerging market, EVTOLs, you need to have your news from somewhere. Instead of paying some big institution, help support the channel, because this is our very own newsletter and we do the research 4 hours a day. And it's actually better than the other news outlets because we know what news is important. And what's important to us, which is crypto markets, XRP, stock markets, IPOs, things that we can make money on, things that make us more clever, things that will help us achieve financial freedom, which is understanding the news behind what happens. And we provide it to you every single day with the 5 top stories. You get the deeper dives as well, whether it's about jobs data, inflation, PPI, an IPO, and you also get the economic calendar, so you can see when it's going to be volatile times in the markets, whether you want to trade it or just be aware of it. And you also get the charts of the day, my thoughts on where certain charts are going, the ones that are important to look at on the day. You also get a whole chat room where everyone who's a premium subscriber can talk to me 24/7. Basically, I reply to people at 3, 4, 5 a.m. I replied to someone at 4 a.m. last night. We also have the community rooms as well, where we share ideas together. And if it's a question that everyone wants to ask and everyone wants to be involved in, we put it on there. So much value there. The price of the monthly subscription is going to be going up soon, but that won't affect anyone who's already subscribed. The yearly subscription price will always stay the same if you subscribe right now. There is the newsletter. Go and subscribe to that if you want to know more about the markets. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Good luck with your bullish IPO shares. It will be great to start covering this live. I might call into Martyn's show as well, but what I'm going to do is send you all directly to Martyn now. Wow, look at the subscribers going up. I'm going to send you all to Martyn right now. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Do go in there and tell Martyn that I sent you. Where was the link for Martyn's show? Here it is. Next live is here. I hope you appreciate that we're giving you all the information from all angles that we can, and we always have the viewer's best interests at heart, and that's why I'm ending my stream to go to Martyn, because he has more information. So here it is. This is Martyn's stream. The stream will take you automatically there. He has a lot of information on the crypto market, Ethereum, and mainly also the bullish IPO. So this will be going straight to Martyn. Yes, it is. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I'll see you maybe later. I'll be live again. But if not, I'm live every single day for the morning forecast. Let me end this poll as well. Axel, stay with us. We're going over to another stream now. Same channel, Martyn stream. Have you requested IPO shares? No is 43%, yes, 31%, and 24% don't have access. So it's going to be exciting to watch whether you're in or out. Martyn's giving away $1,000 link right now for the giveaway, so I'll send you straight there. If we go from your stream, he doesn't count those into his numbers because we were forced to... Okay, Stacey, that's right, isn't it? I'll make sure I let him know. Thank you, Stacey. Okay, on to Martyn's stream. Thank you very much. In the meantime, go and subscribe for the newsletter. There is the link. Thank you, everyone, very much. See you tomorrow for the next morning forecast show. Go straight to Martyn. Tell him Sensei sent me. I want him to know you came from me, that I gave up my stream so we can all go and support him. Say Sensei sent me. Or if you know the joke, say the rooster sent you. The link is there. You'll automatically be taken there as well. It's pinned to the top. Bye-bye.